What is your dream?
This embryo development video is the next video in our Human Reproductive System Learning series. Only if you watch the previous videos in this series before watching this video will you be able to easily understand the details about embryo development explained in this video. The link to this series is provided below in the description. In the previous video of this Human Reproductive System Learning series, we discussed how the ovum produced in a woman's body and the sperm produced in a man's body unite in the ampulla region of the fallopian tube inside the woman's body to form a diploid zygote containing 46 chromosomes. In this video, we will discuss how the zygote develops and transforms into an embryo. About 30 hours after fertilization, the fertilized zygote undergoes its first mitotic division and divides into two cells. These cells are called blastomeres. These two blastomeres further divide by mitosis to form 4 blastomeres. The 4 blastomeres then divide to form 8 blastomeres, and the 8 blastomeres divide to form 16 blastomeres. This rapid cell division is called cleavage. This structure, consisting of 16 blastomeres, is called a morula. The Latin name of the mulberry fruit is marula. As the 16-cell stage resembles a mulberry fruit in appearance, it is named as marula. On the 4th day after fertilization, marula moves from the fallopian tube into the uterus. The blastomeres continue to undergo cleavage. After this, a group of cells forms an outer layer surrounding this structure. These outer cells are called the outer cell mass. Another group of cells move toward one side and cluster together in the inner region. This inner group of cells is called the inner cell mass. At this stage, uterine fluid penetrates the morula and forms a fluid-filled cavity beneath the inner cell mass. This fluid-filled cavity is called the blastocele. The structure that contains the inner cell mass, outer cell mass, and blastocele is called the blastocyst. The process by which the morula transforms into a blastocyst is called blastulation. It is important to note that the structure containing 16 blastomeres is called the morula, whereas the structure containing more than 16 blastomeres is called the blastocyst. Subsequently, the outer cell mass and the inner cell mass undergo differentiation and become more functionally specialized. In this highly functionally active stage, the outer cell mass is called the trophoblast, and the inner cell mass is called the embryoblast. On the 5th day after fertilization, the embryo embeds itself into the inner lining of the uterus. This process is called implantation. We will discuss implantation in detail in the next video. Similarly, we will discuss in detail in the upcoming videos how the trophoblast layer develops and transforms into the placenta. In this video, we will discuss in detail how the embryoblast differentiates and develops into embryo. On the 8th day after fertilization, the embryoblast continues to differentiate and transforms into a structure consisting of 2 layers. The upper layer is called the epiblast, and the lower layer is called the hypoblast. This 2-layered structure is known as the bilaminar disc formation. From the 3rd week of embryonic development, the bilaminar disc begins to transform into a trilaminar disc. This transformation occurs due to the migration, invagination, and differentiation of the cells present in the epiblast layer of the bilaminar disc. Let us now discuss these processes in detail. The bilaminar disc has 2 ends. The end that will later develop into the head of the embryo is called the cranial end. The opposite end, which will develop into the anal region, is called the caudal end. As the first change in the process of gastrulation, some epiblast cells in the upper layer begin to thicken and migrate from the caudal end toward the cranial end, forming a thickened linear structure in the midline of the embryo. This structure is called the primitive streak. At the anterior end of the primitive streak, cells further proliferate and form a circular thickened structure known as the primitive node. Subsequently, cells between the primitive streak and the primitive node invaginate inward and later break down, forming cavities. The cavity formed in the middle of the primitive streak is called the primitive groove, and the cavity formed in the center of the primitive node is called the primitive pit. The cells present in the epiblast are bound to one another by a protein called E-cadherin. This E-cadherin protein is produced by the epiblast cells themselves. After the primitive groove is formed, a protein called fibroblast growth factor is released laterally from its edges. This protein acts on the epiblast cells and inhibits the production of E-cadherin. As a result, the epiblast cells lose the linkage between them. Once they lose their adhesion, the epiblast cells migrate through the primitive groove and completely replace the cells of the hypoblast layer. This newly formed layer, which entirely replaces the hypoblast, is called the endoderm. Even further, fibroblast growth factor continues to be secreted, causing the epiblast cells to further separate and migrate continuously through the primitive groove. At this stage, the migrating epiblast cells form a new layer between the epiblast and the endoderm layers. This newly formed layer is called the mesoderm. After this, the remaining epiblast layer is completely transformed to form a new upper layer composed of new cells. This layer is called the ectoderm. The process by which the bilaminar disc transforms into a trilaminar disc is called gastrulation. The outer layer, ectoderm, the middle layer, mesoderm, and the inner layer, endoderm, are collectively called as the primary germ layers. All the organs of the embryo develop from these primary germ layers after a series of subsequent developmental processes. The brain and the spinal cord together constituting the central nervous system. The peripheral nervous system that lies outside the central nervous system. The epidermis, outer layer of the skin and its derivatives, such as hair, nails, and mammary glands, are derived from the ectoderm. Connective tissue, which provides support and protection to other tissues. Cartilage, which protects the ends of long bones as well as bones and muscles. Parts of the urogenital system, such as the kidneys, ureters, and gonads, are derived from the mesoderm. The epithelium of the gastrointestinal tract and the epithelium of the respiratory tract. Organs such as the liver, pancreas, thyroid gland, and parathyroid glands are derived from endoderm. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and share. And do not forget to subscribe to this channel. Thank you.
You have to excel in the education.